So we'll have a look at question 5 in the homework. Now, like I say, there were some people in here that did get this. But either people got it or people just didn't attempt it. Okay, so we kind of got two extremes going on there, so I need to address that gap. So, question 5 is a question about averages. Specifically, it's a question about the mean. Okay, so we're told that there are two classes. There's class A, okay, so it might be this class, for example, and class B, so it might be the other maths teacher's maths class. Now, we're told that class A has 18 students in. Okay, so there are 18 students in class A. And we're also told that there are 12 students in class B. Okay, so this is question 5 of homework 11. Okay? Good. Now, we're told that the mean score of all 30 students. So in other words, when you put these two classes together, there are 30 students. Are you happy with that? Like, it's just 18 plus 12, so it's 18 students. And we're told that the mean score of all of those 30 students is 14. Okay, so that is the mean. So just remind me, what is the mean again? Like, what does the mean actually tell you? It's the average, I'll take that. Okay, so it's the average. What it's literally saying there is that when you look at the group of all of these students together, so like I took all of this class and I put it with the rest of the class, you all sat together in one room, the average mark per student was 14. Okay, the average mark per student was 14 on this test. Okay, but we're also told that the mean score of class A is 10. In other words, if I just look at you guys and not the other class as well, then the mean mark is 10. Okay, the mean mark is 10. So the question is, well, what is the mean mark of just the other class? Okay, so what is the mean of this class here? That is the question, really. Okay. Does that make a bit more sense now once you actually explain it through? So the wording of the question was deliberately kind of a little bit off-putting, I guess. It says 18 students in class A and 12 students in class B sit a test. The mean score of all 30 students is 14. That's that bit. The mean score of class A is 10. Okay, that's that bit. Alex says the mean score of class B is 4. Is Alex right? Show how you get your answer. Okay? So what that question is literally saying is, just find the mean of this. Just find the mean of this. But I'm putting it in the context of like, here is a situation which somebody thinks is true. Can you prove him right or wrong? Okay? So first of all, Alex supposes that the mean mark of these students is 4. How did he get that, first of all? Okay, so that's the kind of naive approach of doing it, right? He said, if you put them all together, you get 14 as the mean mark. If you just look at one class, you get 10. Like, this is the difference between those two, like class A is over here, the total is over here. The difference between them must be made up by class B. So he said, if you look at the difference between 14 and 10, you get 4, okay? That's kind of the naive approach to maths. Why are we suspecting that that's probably not right? I think there's two reasons why.
Because it's not exactly now, like, not the all students, like these two students has this result, like every student, each student has...
Okay, so it's looking per student then, instead of the whole class, because that's what mean tells you. It tells you what's the average mark per student.
We need to know every mark.
Kind of, yeah, somewhere we can say. Okay, good. So you're expecting the mean to be different, but that's different. Like, why are we expecting this to be wrong before we even start doing any calculations?
Because it's not exactly.
Okay, so talk about the formula then. Yeah, the formula tells you that it's not just as simple as just subtracting them. Okay? It's not just like, here is the mean and here is the mean of this. You can't just subtract them from each other. Like the formula. What is the formula for the mean? Yeah, add them all together. So I'm going to call that sum divided by, yeah, the number of students that you've got. So I'm just going to call that total. Is that okay? Yeah, that's how you work out the mean. Now, the thing is, it's because you've got that divide going on. Like equally, if I had a multiplication going on, it wouldn't just be as simple as subtracting these two numbers from each other. Okay? I think there is also another reason that you could probably say that he is wrong, which is I'm giving you the question and it's worth 3 marks, right? I wouldn't give you the question if it is just as simple as subtracting those together, and I certainly wouldn't be giving you 3 marks for it. Okay? So you're probably kind of thinking, he's wrong, but how can I prove it? Okay? All right, good. So let's think about this then. Let's think about this. Let's think about each situation and think about what we don't currently have. So let's work with this first of all. Let's work with this. If I have 30 students, let me just write that a bit better. If I have 30 students and the mean mark per student is 14, what don't I currently have in this formula? What don't I currently have? Yeah, the sum. What happens when I add all those marks together? What's all those marks added together? So I've got that the mean, so I'll do the total first. I've got that the mean is 14, I'm told that. I haven't got what all those marks added together are, so I'm just going to call that sum. Okay? But I have got the total number of students. I've got that as 30. So how could I find what all of those marks added together would be? Good. So I'm going to call that the sum of the total will be 14 multiplied by 30. Do you see that? What was this, 420, I think? Yeah? So if I add all of those marks together, I get 420. That's everybody's marks, this class and the other class as well. Now have a look at what I've got here. Would you be happy I could do the same thing for class A as well? So for this class. Yeah, so for class A, we do it in a different colour. Okay, I've got that the mean is equal to 10. And I've also got the total number of students, but I haven't got what all of those marks added together are. You happy with that? So it's going to be sum divided by 18 students. But again, I can work it out. I can work out what the sum of class A would be. Okay, it would just be 10 times 18, which is 180. Okay, so let's pause for a second. Would you be happy I've got all of the marks added together for the total number of students, so all the students together. I've got what the total mark is, so if you add all those marks together for class A is 180. Could I work out what the total number or what the total mark is for all of those students added together for class B would be? Yeah, I could just subtract them from each other. Like add them all together, get 420. Just add class A, you get 180. The remainder must just be class B. So if I do class B over here, okay, if I do class B over here, I take 420 and I subtract 180. The difference must be made up by class B. So yeah. So would it be 240? Yeah? So basically if I added all of the marks from class B together, I would get 240. And you see if you add those together, you get 420. Is that okay? Now it's just a case of sticking things in your formula. Okay, because I want the mean, which will just be the total number of marks. So the mean will be the total number of marks divided by the total number of students, which would be 12. So what's 240 divided by 12? 20. Yeah. Now if you just pause for a second, there's another way that you could have thought about this. You say, okay, I know that the total mean, like all 30 students, is 14. I know that the mean for just class A is 10, which means that I am expecting class B to have a higher mean. Would you be happy with that? Because like if you average those two things out, it should come out as something in between 10 and whatever this one was, which came out as 20. Yeah? So that's how I got the 14, so it should be somewhere in the middle. Okay, so it's another way of thinking about it, another dimension of thinking about it. But no, Alex was wrong. The mean mark for class B was 20. But does that make sense? Like there's nothing difficult there. It's just simply using this formula.
It is less students, but the result is higher.
Exactly. And that's the reason why the mean is higher, because there's less students going on. Yeah?